What was that? Was it a beating? Was it a schooling? Was it an annihilation? What was it? What I saw, Terence Crawford just made history. Absolutely battered, schooled, annihilated Canelo Alvarez. Wow. This guy is the best of our generation. The best of this era. Terence Crawford, him and Usyk, the two southpaws. Honestly, the first ever three-time undisputed champion. Well, sorry, three division undisputed champion in the four belt era. Terence Crawford. Wow. What a boxer. What a fighter. Wow. This man technically moved up 3 weight classes to win. They were saying, oh, no one's beating Canelo at 168. No one's beating him at 168. They're saying, oh, well, he lost to Mayweather because, they were fighting at a smaller weight class. Oh, he lost to Bivol because Bivol was too big for him at light heavyweight, even though he'd won a title at light heavyweight before. But then Terence Crawford, an all-time great, moves up from 3 weight classes to become a 3-division undisputed champion and beat the unbeatable 168 Canelo at 168. This man is the greatest of our era. Absolutely generational talent. Unbelievable. I thought he'd lose. I doubted him. I'm so happy for him, though. He deserved that. It was a fantastic performance. 9-3, I had that to Terence Crawford. You can make an argument for 10-2. You can make an argument for 11-1. Honestly, I thought the only real convincing round that Canelo won was round 5. That was his only real convincing round. Crawford outlanded him, picked him apart. Look, we can say that Canelo is about 4 years past his prime because he is. But he is still an elite world-class fighter. Even though he's 4 years past his best, he's 4 years past his prime. But Terence Crawford just moved up 3 weight classes and took all of the belts in the weight class that he moved up 3 weight classes to get to. Over a year out, looks like he's fresh as anything, 38 years old, basically, and just did that. Wow. Honestly, he doesn't need to fight again. I want to see him fight again, though, because his stock is at an all-time high. This man right now might just be the face of boxing. Look at what he just did on Netflix. This man might have just taken the title of the face of boxing. He's American as well. The guy ticks all the boxes, really, doesn't he? Unbelievable. What he just did there is just generational. It's just a one-time thing. Like, you're not going to see something like that again, at least for a very long time. You're not going to see something like that again. This guy would fight anyone. No, he didn't ask for any, rehydration clause for Canelo. He didn't ask him to do anything. The guy just said, yes, screw it. I am moving up. I do not care. Didn't just take the fight for a paycheck. He did it for legacy. He's made history tonight. Absolute, or this morning, should I say, in the UK. Unbelievable stuff from Terence Crawford. Unbelievable. Honestly. That left hand was as quick as anything. That straight left down the pipe onto the button was as quick as anything. I think it was one of the rounds. He landed a massive left hand. Didn't even see it. It was so quick. Honestly. Wow. We'll talk about Canelo now. We can talk about Canelo. Look, I'm not a fan of Canelo, but you've got to respect his resume. You've got to respect what he's done in his career. That's got to be said. But we've been seeing the decline in him for ages now. We've been seeing the decline in him for ages. He's still, still a top level fighter, still a world champion. But we've been seeing the decline. We've been seeing the decline since that Bivol loss. Then he went into the Golovkin trilogy. Looked slow, didn't. Then it's like the John Ryder fight. It's like, yeah, he couldn't even finish it. That's a decline. And then, yeah, that's sealed. That's sealed. Yeah, it's just gone downhill from there from him. The Jamel Charlo fight wasn't great. The Belanga fight wasn't great. The William Skull fight was awful. I thought he looked good tonight, but it's Terence Crawford. It's Terence Crawford. I thought he looked good tonight, Canelo, that's being said. I thought he looked good, but not at his best. Nowhere near his very best. He looked elite tonight, though, Canelo. He looks elite. Crawford beat an elite, world-class Canelo, but not in his prime Canelo. That's the thing. It doesn't take anything away from Crawford's achievement whatsoever, though. It takes nothing away from it. Look at what the guy just did. 3 weight classes he moved up and did that. Canelo's never been beat at 168. And he just did that. It was always a risk for Canelo tonight. Talking about Canelo, it was always a risk for him tonight because I said before the fight, if Crawford was to lose, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal because he could have just moved back down, done his thing. If Canelo lost, which he did, lost badly as well. Lost badly. It's not a good look. Because, and ego-wise for him, his ego's taken a massive crash. A massive crash. People talking about, his aura is so big. I hate that word, to be honest. I hate the word, that's fine. But that's taken a crash. As people like to say, he's lost a lot of aura points. Whatever they say. Because, losing to a guy who's came up 3 weight classes. As we've said, as great as Crawford is, Canelo will be thinking in his mind, questions have got to be asked. Questions have got to be asked after that because it was always a risk. It was always everything to lose, not loads to gain for Canelo from that. And he's lost everything after that. He's lost all his belts. So that, I feel like it puts Canelo in a real sticky situation now. It puts him in a real sticky situation. I don't know if he fights again. I don't know where he goes. He doesn't need to fight again. You've got to respect his career. You've got to respect what he's done. You've got to respect his resume. Arguably one of the best resumes in the sport's history, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think the upper body movement's the same. I feel like that's what's gone. I don't think the power's gone at all. You can hear his shots through the bloody screen. But it's his upper body movement that's gone. His IQ's drifting away a bit. And it's because he's had so many fights. It's because he's had near 70 fights now. That's why. But Crawford, 42 fights, 38 years of age, basically. His birthday's in 2 weeks when he is 38. The weight didn't matter to him at all. Didn't care. At 38 years old, his body did not take a toll on the weight at all. The man is different. Honestly. Unbelievable.